Thank you. Welcome everybody here. Oh my goodness, what a great to start off. All right, Andrew, you have something to say?
Hi.
Welcome everybody here to the All-Star race for Season 7 of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series as we get SETI. Good Lord,
Lots of spaghetti.
Doggone. As we get ready here for 40 laps of racing in total, 2 segments. First segment 30 laps, second segment 10 laps. We'll get into that in a little bit. We're already off to a roller coaster start here, but I'm being joined in the booth by 3 guys that are ready to bring you the action as well. We'll start first off here with a guy who joined me for the All-Star Open. He's back here for the All-Star race, Mr. Michael Norman.
Start that freaking, what's it called? Fail counter, that thing. Start that up.
The fail counter is returning.
We're already at, like, what,
Didn't I
4?
start that?
I think
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
Probably. I'm
maybe,
bringing it
maybe
back.
do that back in, what was it?
Ancient time,
What
probably.
was it? Snickers Cup Series Season 9, Season 10, something like that?
Yeah, I remember it.
Something
Man,
like
that
that.
was way back. As you heard, Mr. Dylan Poteet joined us in the booth here tonight since he didn't make the All-Star race.
It's a Christmas miracle that I'm commentating again. I couldn't tell you the last time I commentated. Probably almost over a year, probably.
I think it was.
I finally got my job back in the booth for the All-Star race. Yes!
Yes, you're not in the All-Star
I got
race.
fired for a while.
Hey, Dylan, here's your pink slip.
Wait, what?
It's a Pepto-Bismol coupon. Take it. And,
Yes!
and also joining us here, making his debut in the NNSCRA booth. We normally see him racing in the trucks, but he's joined us here tonight for the All-Star race, Mr. Andrew Miller.
Hey, yo, good to be here. Looking forward to this one, and thank you for having me.
All right, so let's set the stage real quickly here of what's going to go down. 30 laps of racing here for the first segment. Cautions are on, and these drivers will have to make a green flag or a yellow flag pit stop during the course of this race. They would get the benefit of making a yellow flag pit stop if the caution comes out, but we may end up seeing green flag pit stops here, and this isn't exactly one of the easiest pit roads to get onto. Afterwards, all drivers that still remain, whether they be on the lead lap or off the lead lap, as long as they're still running, they'll all be put back on the lead lap. Finishing results from segment 1 transfer to segment 2, which will be a 10-lap shootout. And the winner of that 10-lap shootout will be the winner of the All-Star race this year. So let's go down trackside real quick and get the command. Shut up, we're getting the command.
Wow.
So you're telling me that the All-Star race is only two segments and 40 laps long.
Exactly.
Why?
Because
In our
What kind of
2003, Michael.
All-Star race is that?
Okay, here's the reasoning. Because the All-Star race last year was 3 segments, 60 laps long. And I ended up running a 60-lap Coca-Cola 600, claiming it was the longest race of the season, which made no sense since it was the same length as the All-Star race. So there you go.
Oh, please. That's not even comparable. You had breaks in between.
Well,
Coke 600 was
this
straight off
isn't
through.
ARCA, so yes, we had breaks. Anyway, let's get down to our picks for this race, and we'll start with Dylan. Who are you looking at in this one to maybe walk away with the victory?
Hold on, wait. Before Dylan makes his pick,
I didn't know your name was Dylan.
Before Dylan makes his pick,
I'm having an identity crisis!
let me personally apologize to whoever Dylan picks because you're probably going to get fucked over.
I was going to say that. I was saying
damn.
my history of picking is not very good, so whoever I pick is going to be a wonderful pick. You know what? I'm going to go on the limb. Sorry, Trey, I'm picking you to win.
Oh, right.
There you go, buddy. Hey, I'm going to hear it probably when this video goes up.
Yep, you are. All right, Michael, who you got?
I'm going to go. Let me look at my list here. I'm going to go with Sean Galligan because Sean Galligan and Anthony McCurry are in this All-Star race, and I think Sean Galligan is going to best Anthony McCurry.
All
Well,
right,
I was
Andrew.
going to say, what will that have to do with anything?
And
What?
I'm picking Sean Galligan to finish better
Gotta make
than
our pick.
McCurry.
All right, well, we're going to take the green flag here for the All-Star race, and as the green flag is out, Andrew, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Seth Cole because rigged. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow,
I have to agree.
Thank you.
Obviously,
I'm
the
gonna
31
actually
should have been in, not the 98, but that's another story.
I'm going to go with Joseph Srigley in the 21, just basically because Srigley is maybe the most consistent driver this season that hasn't gotten a victory. So he transferred in via the All-Star Open, so I think he might be fast here tonight. As R.J. Reynolds is going to lead us here through turns
Ooh,
3
three
and
wide.
4. You know, it's interesting. Okay, sometimes I'm really bored. I mean, like, really bored, and I go back and I look at different statistics and everything. In the last 6 years of the All-Star race, the eventual winner of the All-Star race has made the playoffs. So I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but whoever wins this All-Star race is probably going to get into the playoffs this year.
So can we go down the list? Is there some that you know that have won the All-Star races in this field tonight?
There are indeed. As a matter of fact, coming into this race, we have only three of previous All-Star
Fail.
race winners in this field. Jake Baskinger, the most earliest winner back in Season 2. Anthony McCurry won this event in back-to-back years, Season 4 and Season 5. And the defending winner of this race is Charles Sanford, who's in this field in that 0-3. Two drivers that have won this All-Star race that are not in this field here tonight. The inaugural All-Star race winner Noah Cars and the Season 3 winner Blaine Keys, who both, ironically enough, won the All-Star race driving the number 42 car.
So I'm wondering, Noah Cars, if you say that fast enough, is that supposed to be nose cars?
You think too much about things. Anyway.
Ken Walsh right now is leading the way.
Our Daytona 500
like
winner from this season.
Looks like he's just kind of setting a pace right now. 24 is starting to creep up a little bit, Benny Watson. I think that draft is going to be a big factor in the race today for sure.
Yeah,
Getting down these straightaways and cutting down and getting that draft, it's really going to close people up. See, the 24, he's able to cut down a little bit and try to get some air on that nose, and he is closing in.
Yeah, Benny
And Trent's making a
Watson
move for
was
third.
a four-time
great
winner
way to
last
change it.
year. And Dylan, you know something about being a four-time winner in the Hershey's Cup Series. You did it back in
What's
Season
that?
4. Charles Sanford did it back in Season 2, and Watson, as a rookie last year, did it. Although, keep in mind, 3 of his 4 wins came during the second half of the season. He's winless so far this year.
Well, it sounds like he's one of those guys that kind of takes the first half of the season maybe to get going and hits a stride in that second half of the season. That's where it all shows up, though. That's when everybody wants to be showing up, is at the end of the year.
And both his teammates have been to Victory Lane this year. John Arndt at Dover and Baskinger at somewhere.
Is that a fail count?
Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know.
And it's
You
a great
tell
way-
me.
and
Well,
a great
it's
way to
your
stay in shape.
series.
Daniel Voiles, we're looking at him. 5th place running right now. Trent's up to 3rd.
And there's
I think
Sanford, the defending All-Star race winner. Remember, we mentioned Anthony McCurry was a back-to-back winner, Season 4 and 5. Sanford
Yeah,
trying to
but
be a
think of-
back-to-back winner.
Sega!
But
It's coming through the field.
Done him. He's
but
moving
think
up
about
there.
it. Do we really care
He got
about?
a fast
Do we
car.
really care about Charles Sanford, the guy who wrecks his teammates in another person's series?
I cannot ignore a car that's sponsored by Reese's. I'm sorry, I just can't.
That's ironic.
That actually
comes-
is quite ironic.
Here comes Trent battling up here. He's
It's-
coming up against his old buddy Tim
There he
Wolf
goes.
there.
Yeah, we know these two's rivalries in the past.
Yeah, there's no love lost between these two guys, and without much effort. Well, Tim's fighting back on the outside. I thought Tim was going to sneak by there without any trouble,
I was
but
going
Whoa.
to say, the difference I'm seeing in this track compared to the version that I used in my All-Star race is that the inside line works a lot more than in this All-Star race than it did in my All-Star race.
Definitely in 3 and 4, that inside line works a lot better. You can kind of get the run on the high side off turn 2. We saw Walsh put up a little bit of a fight there against Trent Dunham, but now Trent's out in front, and I'm kind of trying to figure
look
out
at his apron
why,
right
because
there.
Dylan picked him to win. So how is Trent leading this race?
Hey, it's a long race. A lot can happen.
Oh, is that smoke coming out of the back of the one car? Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Oh, we saw the 97 right there, R.J. Reynolds. He tried to make a move. I think that was on the 24, I believe, and he hit the apron going into 1. That could have been really bad right there, and it's allowing Sanford now to get a run at him this lap. And we'll
Yeah,
see if
R.J.
that
Reynolds was
happens.
the only, actually last year made history as the only rookie ever to make the Final Four to compete for the championship. So far this year he's not doing that great, but then again, his only win last year was second half of the regular season.
Might never run on Benny Watson here.
Look at the gap that these cars, that the front cars have spread out against
wow,
the
what a
rest
run.
of the field.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, the top 5 are all together. Then you got Cole Baker and Daniel Voiles 6th and 7th, and they're what, a little over 2 seconds back behind this group. But
I'm looking to the field.
Maybe
Oh.
this isn't a bad thing, though, because remember, they're going to have to make a green flag pit stop or, at least a pit stop at some point here during this 30-lap segment, so it might be easier to get to pit road when you don't have a whole pack of cars around you.
That's a good point.
I'll tell you another thing we haven't really noted about, but the transfer drivers that made it in, I looked down at the top 10. Keith Batson, I believe, started in the back. I may be wrong, but
Yes, he did.
He's up in 9th place right now. He's probably the highest mover of the transfer drivers, and he's made a tear through the field. Like I said, the only thing that's against him right now is the big gap from the front pack, but when you're racing a pack like this, it's really hard to get anywhere right now. And he's actually done a pretty good job maneuvering through the field. Whoa, that was close back there. Levi and them had a close moment right there.
Yeah, you got a number of drivers that started at the back that transferred in. You talked about Batson. I saw Fitzwater, a fan vote winner there. Brandon Gonzalez, who won the last segment of the All-Star Open, was back there. So, yeah, they're starting to make their way at least up towards the top 10.
Battle for second place here. Charles Sanford and Tim Walsh.
Sanford's been on the move. I mean, he was outside the top 5 about maybe 7-8 laps ago, and he's already up to second place. So he might have the fastest car on the track right now.
Yeah, he may have some for Trent for sure. These two definitely moved up quite a bit.
Let's see, his last lap time was a 28.26.
Well, he was battling Batson, so that may be what happened.
Yeah, and Trent was
or not Batson, I'm sorry, that's a fail.
And,
Walsh.
And Trent.
Fail.
Was a fail on my
So
part.
many fails.
Kimbo fail.
28.
I have not failed yet.
No, you haven't.
Let's
You're
see.
batting
Man,
1,000.
very few words.
Trent Dunham ran a 28.31 this time. If we were to scroll back to Charles Sanford to see what lap time he ran,
Let's tell, past Seth to go back. Oh.
28.24. So Charles
Right
Sanford
on
was
cue. How
faster
about
that time.
That's actually kind of crazy.
That was
I was
perfect.
like, Seth, go back. Thanks.
Past Seth knew exactly what future Michael wanted.
Hey, it was just like the Google Hangout when I told Will Smith head to come up whenever it was
Exactly,
over my
it's
face.
exactly
It,
what it was
come
like.
Up, and then he pop.
Cole Baker running in the 6th position. He's starting to catch up to these top 5. We had him and Voiles kind of by themselves. While Baker's catching up to the top 5, Voiles is about to get gobbled up from 8th place on back.
There you see Fitzwater, the fan vote winners, worked his way up there, and I think that's Brandon Gonzalez right behind them. I think now they're trying to work their way up. It's just tough to get around this pack right now.
I want to take this moment to appreciate somebody who's in the back of the pack, and hopefully will stay back there. His name is Kev Shearer. Kev, stay back here.
The hits
That's
just
why
keep
we're
on coming.
Voiles now.
Boys.
I'm just kidding, Kev. I know you're probably going to watch this in the future. But goddamn, stop talking about me.
I'm just thinking about some of the other transfers in the races. There's a few of them that, like I said, they transferred in, but we just haven't seen them. They're still mired way back there. Maybe it could also be strategy.
Oh,
Well,
here
speaking
comes
of
Fitz.
strategy,
There they go.
time to
There
pit.
we go, and that's, 5 of the top 6 that just hit pit road.
I was thinking maybe some of these guys are trying to hold off and do some strategy, just hang around the back. I don't know if that's a strategy or not, just to get to the end of the stage, but
Well,
or the segment.
They will with this pit stop. It should put them with enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage.
You know, the interesting thing, too, we mentioned the fact that, where they finish this first segment is where they'll line up for the 10-lap second and final segment. I mean, do you want to be starting on point, or do you maybe want to start on the inside of row 2 and 3rd? I mean, is there a way you can strategize
Someone spun.
finishing?
Someone spun.
Oh, we got
we
trouble
got
back there.
spin.
That's Citadino.
No caution.
Nope, no yellow, still green.
I was going to say, I think it's safe for some of these guys pitted a lap later because there was a lot of people coming in together to get more space.
Everybody was on pit road, so the NNSCRA officials were like, yeah, no caution.
Well, there was nobody behind him, so it wasn't
That
going
was
to
a
hinder
weird
anybody.
spin.
Maybe he just got on the apron wrong and spun out.
I don't know if he just couldn't slow down and just caught something and just spun or what. But I was going to say, Walsh had a great strategy pitting kind of by himself. Didn't have to worry about any other traffic or anything coming in and out probably, so... But not very sure what happened to Citadino right there. Oh, hi, replay.
We'll take a look. Hey, look at that. Past Seth knew what Dylan wanted to see as well.
Apparently I'm a sidekick or
somebody
something
was
today.
behind the 72. Somebody is behind the 72.
Oh, they really slowed up right
oh,
there.
look out.
Oh, yep, right there. Oh, ran to the
Ooh.
back. Was that the 21, Wrigley?
It looked like it.
Man.
There's a lot of rear end damage on the back of the 21. Oh, who's that? Oh,
Baskinger in the 38.
Oh, he's gonna hit him.
Yep.
Well,
Just smacked him there.
And I can't believe at this point, he's on the racetrack. I'm surprised that there wasn't a caution.
Well, there was
for this.
contact right there between the 72 and the 38, so that even more surprises me that there wasn't a caution. I mean, if it's just a solo car spin, all right, so be it if everyone avoids them, but there was actually contact made there, so I'm with you. I'm really surprised the caution did not come out for that.
The NNSCRA
gonna battle for third here.
The NNSCRA officials are biased.
Benny Watson now on the inside of Tim Walsh. I think they're going back at it again right before the pit stop. They were battling for this position, and Watson easily going to drive it in. He dove it
Yeah,
in there around that
one
15.
Daytona winner passing another. Watson won the summer Daytona race last year, and of course Walsh winning the 500 this year. But this ain't Daytona, so I don't know why I even brought that up.
Yeah, they're past winners. It's all good.
There you go.
I I think there would have been a caution for that incident had the 72 not got hit a sec. I think he was going to get stuck on the apron, so they may have drawn a caution if he couldn't get off the track. But since he got hit and turned around, I think that's why they kind of cleaned it up and said, well, he's going. I guess we can just keep it green.
Now let's go back and clarify again, too, the rules here of this first segment. If Citadino, who you see right there, is off the pace, as well as, I think isn't that the 38 of Baskinger behind him? Yeah, they're still running. They're off the pace. They're still running off the lead lap. If they just remain on the track, then during the break between segments 1 and 2, they'll be back in the lead lap, can make repairs, and try and get ready for the last 10-lap segments. So as long as they're still running, they're still in the All-Star race.
Really holding up, holding up some of those cars, though.
Yeah. I was going to say, Trent actually gapped the 03 car, Sanford, through the pit stops, but that last lap he lost a little bit. He's actually gaining back. It's because it was slow cars, but I was going to see if maybe pitting a lap later was going to be a better thing to do, or pit earlier, because Walsh stayed out later and he actually, I think, lost more ground. So it looks like maybe if you pit earlier, you're going to get yourself back on track a lot quicker and actually get ahead of these guys and gap them quite a bit.
Well, one thing that we saw when Michael had his All-Star race for the Budweiser All-Pro Series was, you wouldn't think it, but the mile and a half tracks, like Charlotte, they're very aerodynamically dependent. So you come down with a bunch of race cars and leave with a bunch of race cars, that draft is actually going to help your lap times. Walsh kind of came down by himself, didn't really have anybody with him. Could the aerodynamics have affected the lap times of the 1 and the 03 as opposed to the 15?
Possible.
That is a fine line.
Well, Trent Dunham is about to hit 6 to go here, so right now the battle looks like it's going to be between Trent and Sanford, and I think it's safe to say, barring any problems, we're looking at our front row for the 10-lap segment. The only question is who's starting inside and who's starting outside.
Well, Trent's really wishing this is probably a 30-lapper because these last 10 laps are going to either be very interesting for him or it could end up being very bad. But nonetheless, it's been a great showing for him. Sanford, they've definitely been the class of the field so far. Like I said, they've gapped away from the field. I'm thinking Sanford's actually starting to catch up very slowly, but he is starting to close in just a little bit.
You look up at the top left ticker, yeah, he's reeling him in little by little.
Now I was just going to throw it out here with what you were saying just a minute ago, Seth, with Benny Watson running third right now. If he can hold that, who knows, that might actually put him in the best spot on the start of the final stage. So
could very well,
I think that's something to look out for.
Now, I'm not 100% certain it was Joseph Strigley that Citadino ran into the back of, because we're looking at him here battling with Johnny Gardner for 5th, and he doesn't have any rear-end damage, so it might have been somebody else. I saw a red car, but I thought it was him.
I thought it may have been a red or an orange car. Maybe it wasn't him. I guess it was somebody else. We may find out a little bit, but let's see. Cole Baker, he's getting shuffled right here late in the run. Or I want to say maybe it's a strategy. Maybe he's trying to get an inside row spot, maybe. I don't know if he's going to give up that many spots, but...
Well, to be honest, the outside line in through turns 1 and 2 sometimes is a good place to go if the outside lane gets good as a restart as the leader.
Well, I'm trying to remember, Michael, which segment it was of the Open, but there was someone who started on the outside line of the front row, and they basically led every single lap after the green flag came out. I think it was Strigley, but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah. So like I said, if the outside lane can, especially with Charles Sanford, if the outside lane can definitely, if it gets a good restart, be a real good contender for taking the lead going down the back straightaway.
Well, Sanford's reeling in Trent little by little. He cut it down by about 1/10 that time with 1.5 laps to go. If we were to continue this, he would need about 7 more laps, which he doesn't have.
He had him by about 2/10 that last time by. Yeah, he needed a couple more laps, or he probably would have won this segment, but he looks like he's going to run out of time. But definitely the 03 looks like he's got a better long-run car than Trent does right now, because Trent looks like he's struggling just a little bit.
So
well, you say a better long-run car. Remember, it's only 10 laps for our second segment, so is that advantage 1?
It could be, but...
Because I didn't see him waving it.
I think he was.
I believe it was a white flag.
I didn't see it.
Well, you're colorblind. You can't see white objects.
I have them on my face.
Well, Trent Dunham sees the checkered flag. He's going to cross the line and win the first segment, so he will start on the pole for the 10-lap shootout, and Charles Sanford will start alongside of him. Probably, I think we can safely say the 2 strongest cars of the night so far are going to be starting P1 and P2, so this should be a good one.
3. IP3, what?
I wanted to see if some of these guys that have worked their way through the field, like they're inside the top 10 now, if they got anything for these leaders now, because they didn't have much of a chance to start this race because they started so far back, and we didn't have a yellow, so they had no chance.
Yeah, there were a
But
couple
now
of cars
everybody's
that
bunched
worked
back
their
up.
way up there. Srigley, Gardner, Roush, Shelton. We didn't talk about them in basically the
Yep.
first half before the pit stops.
They
They
can
can't
erase
count out
the
Fitzwater.
Yep, they can erase the
Or
7,
James-
8 second difference now, and now they'll be right up there with the leaders. And we'll see if they have anything for them. And
Oh,
everybody
every-
stay in the race.
Yep,
Nobody
everybody
dropped
stay in
out.
the race. Yep, everybody stay in
All
the race.
24 drivers still have a chance to win. There's even Citadino and Baskinger who had the crash right there. And I mean, I think it's still open out there for anybody to get this. Anything could happen. It takes one slip out to take half the field out, and then they've got a whole new ball game right here. So we got refresh. Speaking of refresh,
Past Seth knew exactly what you wanted again.
this is a little scary actually.
This
right now.
is rather scary. It's like the Twilight
See,
Zone.
it's like the old connection when we do these races. See, we don't even have to even try. I just know when you're about to do something.
Now, you know what really is scary? Dylan Pote
Me?
picked Trenton Dunham to win. He technically did win the first segment.
I'm
dear.
at least gonna be half right today. I don't
Half
even
right,
care.
yep.
I'll take that. Yep, that doesn't even happen ever. Half right, let alone.
Dylan,
So-
Pote, and Wright don't mix together.
Where's everybody else's picks at? I think
I'm in fifth. I got Srigley in
fifth place.
fifth.
Yep, Strigley. That's what you were worried about. I forgot about that. Strigley, and then we had Galligan, and who was the other pick?
My pick with Galligan, I pretty much said that even if he doesn't win, he's gonna finish better than Anthony McCurry.
And what was the other pick we had? It was
Well-
Seth. Oh yeah, it was
Well,
Seth.
I chose Seth just because rigged, but it's
Well,
obviously
hey,
not
I'm
rigged.
running 14th for you, so, you know, I'm doing okay. Green flag in the air. Here we go. 10-lap segment, and Trent
Great
was
jump.
ready.
Wow, Trent.
I think I see the black flag for jumping. Oh wait, never mind.
He's the leader. He can't jump.
Oh, but
Yeah,
he
the
can
03.
before that restart.
Wait,
zone.
there's a new
right, here's-
flag. There's a new flag in the NNSCRA. It's called the Charles Jackson flag.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay.
Mayo flag.
Well, here's the
Man.
problem, though. Sanford slotted into
Three
second.
wide.
Oh,
so...
3 wide for third.
Ooh, boy.
Put them in the
Sanford is
middle.
digging right now.
Oh, Walsh in the
Oh,
wall. Saved it,
They
but boy,
saved-
he held up that outside line.
And just
Oh,
like
goes.
that, the pack is getting separated again. Just it takes one little thing. And Sanford to the bottom right here.
Yeah, but the outside
Man,
line
Sanford's
gets
got a good car.
Gets a good momentum run if you can hold up there.
Yeah, but Sanford's been tough.
Yeah,
I don't know
Sanford's
if
been
Trent will be
really
able to hold him
strong.
off here.
I mean, we saw in that long run at the end that Sanford was faster, but don't count out Srigley and Scott Roush. These two guys, the 21 and the 60, these two, our last points
Ooh.
race at Springfield, we're battling for the points lead. Roush heads into the second half of the regular season, the points leader, Srigley in second, and they're up here trying to win the All-Star race.
Oh, Roush on the
Oh,
apron.
Roush
The
is on
apron's
the
not a
apron.
lane.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
he's-
he's not
he's-
doing that.
Oh,
Oh,
Trent's in the wall.
Trent-
Uh-oh.
Dylan, there you go. There's your luck.
Doggone it,
Rep-
Dylan.
In there.
I was predicting for a 30-lap race. I'm sorry.
Scott Roush
Yeah,
going to go to the
Roush has
lead.
that.
Roush.
He got on.
Oh,
Oh,
Sanford.
Sanford in the wall. And
He
just
got-
like that, the two favorites have hit the wall in this run.
Roush got on the apron, and when he did, his car moved up the track, but he also clipped the back bumper or the quarter panel of Charles Sanford.
All right, I
moved
just
him up
want
the
to
track.
point something out. I just want to point
What?
something out. We had a 9-lap shootout for the last segment of the All-Star Open. Brandon Gonzalez dominated and won that. He's up there in third. Well, he was. He just lost it to Kev Shearer.
And he's about to lose. Oh,
Oh, now we got the wall.
Wow.
Hey, here
maybe
comes
you shouldn't
Trent.
talk about-
Trent's coming back. He's up to fourth.
Hey,
Seth, maybe you shouldn't talk about people.
Maybe
Hit the
I
wall and you
shouldn't.
talk. Poor Brandon was running good, and then he hits the wall.
My guy's
Roush
running
is
second.
pulling
Shut
away.
up.
Oh, man. Now he's gonna hit the wall. Oh my
God.
God, Gonzalez is riding the wall back there.
My
We
goodness.
really shouldn't talk about. Oh,
If
and
Brandon
we're
hits
hitting-
the wall, we'll never
Kev,
know.
no.
His car's
80.
covered in paint
Kev.
anyway.
Kev, stop it. Kev,
Hey,
stop it.
there's
Go back.
Shearer.
Go
Kev
back,
Shearer
Kev,
just
stop
comes
it.
out of nowhere.
Shearer's
Now
up
he's
there.
Shearer's up to
Kev,
second.
Now he's,
Now he's going to try and pass his or the team that he owns, the driver that drives for him, Scott Roush.
Oh,
That's funny
he's got it.
because-
Well,
Oh,
he's like,
he's-
sorry about it, but I want to win more. Sorry, team.
Although
gonna
that might
get to
allow
the
Trent to go
inside.
back in.
No, Kev, no.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Don't do it, Kev,
Gonzalez hit
don't
the
do
wall
it.
for the third lap in a row. You jinxed him for the rest of this race.
Oh, man.
Kev,
And
don't do
Kev's
it.
Hell
going
to
to
the lead.
clear.
Kev
Oh, man,
Shearer and
don't do it.
Roush just smacked the wall.
No,
Trent,
Kev,
and Trent
no, why?
Dunham is still. And look who's back there battling for fourth. We didn't see him all race. It's freaking James McLeod.
It is. Oh, my goodness. The
Where did the
51.
freaking McLeod? Where did he come from?
And John Arndt's with him as well. We haven't talked about the 05. Strigley's on the
And
wall. There
everybody's
goes my
around the wall
pick.
again.
There goes my pick.
Yep. Rip.
Dog.
We've
Meanwhile-
done him.
Meanwhile, my pick's probably just riding around. Go back
Michael
there
said
going,
one little thing about Kev Shearer.
Everybody's
and now he's
picks
running
in the
away with it
lead right now. Kev Shearer.
Kev, go away.
He's got
Roush
3
is
laps
Back
to go.
bumper, Dunham.
Oh, Scott Roush made the move on the one car. That might do it.
That
Yep.
might hurt them.
McLeod is closing in, and
So
so is John
Oh,
Hart.
Trent scrapes the wall a little.
Trying to Kyle Larson it.
Kev Shearer needs
racing for second is allowing
Michael
the
sounds
Asians
so
to pull away,
depressed.
it looks like. McLeod looks like he's on the move
He
now.
is. He's got a fast car here in
And
the
there
closing
goes Trent,
stages. But he's going to
Before-
have to catch Kev in 2 laps. I don't know if
What's
he can do
this?
that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Kev Shear fails post-race inspection.
What a shame.
I think Michael's
Dylan
reverse
Young's up
psychology
to
is trying to
6th.
jinx somebody. Your reverse psychology is gonna give him the win. Good job, Michael.
Dylan Young up to 6th. Seth Cole up
I
to
haven't talked
7th.
about him
Anthony
either.
McCurry, 2-time All-Star race winner, up there in 8th.
Wait, Seth Cole's in the race?
He's
Oh,
in
I
the
forgot.
race.
Oh.
And Kev
He's
Shearer
in
is
the
taking
game.
the white flag. Can McLeod run him down on this final
Oh,
lap?
no.
Please,
poor
please,
James.
please
Over a
blow an
second.
engine. Please blow an
Almost a
engine.
second.
James McLeod has seen this too many times in the recent seasons, being
I
this
want-
close to a victory.
It's the
Kev
final
almost
year
crashed
for
the wall.
it's the final year for CJ Racing. They're closing up at the end of the year. Kev Shearer trying to get them an all-star race win, and it looks like he's going to do it. It's Tuesday. We're recording on a Tuesday, and the Ruby Tuesday car goes to
On
victory lane.
Tuesday.
Conspiracy! Kev Shearer wins the all-star race.
And
Way to go, Michael.
I'm
It's
crying.
all on Michael.
I'm just crying.
Michael just
Um,
completely...
Michael
he didn't
told
jinx them.
Kev to
Game
stay at the
over.
back, and look what happened.
Hey, look what I was talking about. People you didn't think would be up there reset the field, and look, Kev Shearer was nowhere to be seen in that
Well, I
last
think
run.
even back on like lap 2, Kev Shearer was outside the top 10. I mean, that car came flying through the field.
I did win one
he
thing today,
cheated.
though.
I'm telling you, he cheated.
I did win one thing this thing. One thing I know for sure. Trent, yes, he won the segment, but he did finish the best out of everybody's picks, I believe.
He
so I
did.
did win
He did
something.
indeed.
I did win some. So I can't be faulted of that.
Let's
I
see.
tried.
Who did we have? Okay, let's see. Dylan had
there's-
Trent. He was 4th.
Hey, you got 6.
Andrew picked me. I was 6th. Springley
Uh-oh.
finished 13th, and Galligan finished 21st. So yeah, see,
And-
Michael
All right,
jinxed 2
Michael
people.
is the new jinxer.
And-
There you go. He
and-
screwed his pick, and he gave Kev all the luck. There you go.
Anthony McCurry finished ahead of Sean Galligan, so I'm ashamed.
You're
Michael, you're
you're
fired.
0 for 3. Good grief.
Oh, there was damage right there on somebody's car. I just saw at the bottom of the screen. I don't
Is
know
that
who that
Watson?
was.
I think that's
There's-
24
there's-
Watson.
Oh, there's a lot of people right there. Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Must have been
damage.
because Watson
I know.
restarted 3rd and finished last.
Well,
Oh
he had
my
a lot
gosh.
of right side damage, so I think he
He-
probably slammed the wall or something.
Yeah, 12 seconds
know what
back.
else has
Something
a
must
lot
have
of-
happened.
You know what else has a
Oh.
lot of damage right now? My pride.
Hey, it's not mine for once, so I'm okay. I actually picked somebody that did good, so I think Trent will be okay with what I did. He's not gonna be happy he didn't win, but at least I picked him. He got 4th.
But
So
man, what?
That's not a jinx. That's not bad.
Well, Kev Shearer in the last 3 seasons has gone to victory lane at least once. He hasn't won yet a points race this year, so this might be his only win. He might not win and make it into the playoffs, but you know,
Good.
the statistics say otherwise. Statistics say if you win the All-Star
He
race, you
could
make
win
the
the
playoffs.
next race for all we know. He may
could.
win the next race.
Hey,
he
I
may
mean-
all of a sudden just do that.
I mean, no doubt, probably he'll be one of the favorites heading into the Coke 600. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe James McLeod's a former Coke 600 winner, so not really
am
a
I.
surprise to see him be a good finish
Shoot,
here.
Michael. So am I. Don't forget about me.
So not a surprise to see McLeod get a good finish here at Charlotte in the All-Star race, but so close to getting that All-Star race. When John Arndt, great run for him there in 3rd. I mean, like you said, Dylan, people we haven't talked about finishing up there in the podium. Trent in 4th, and Dylan Young, great run for him there in 5th when you had Cole, Roush, Cittadino, who, remember, ended up finishing a lap down in the first segment after spinning trying to get onto pit road. He gets 8th, Voiles 9th, and Shelton in 10th.
That's what I say. Never give
6th
up.
place rigged.
That's the most aggressive 6th place rig I've ever seen. Then.
Yep.
At least it's not like somebody else we know.
Well, you know,
Or
and how
used
about the
to know.
Tweenix cars finishing 2nd and 6th? If only there was a 3rd driver that had been in there, he might have been able to be up there and a chance for the win too. But you know,
Let's moving on. Let's continue on.
all right. Well, that's
Well,
gonna
we're
do
all-
it here from the All-Star race from Charlotte. Hope you
Now
guys
we're all
enjoyed
gonna-
it. If you did, be
Now-
sure to give this video a like. Michael, shut up. I'm doing my outro. Subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Up next, we've got the Last of Us Light series. They're going to be here at Charlotte for their, I think, 3rd or 4th race of the season. Michael, stop doing meditation. Then we've also got the Pizza Hut X Series and Hershey's Cup Series that are going to be here at Charlotte, capping it off with the running of the Coca-Cola 600, longest race of the season. Now, meditating,
though?
Michael, is there anything you'd like to say?
And now the 3 of us or 4 of us are gonna hop in our teleporter and go over to Kentucky.
I
Yes.
got a question. Is past
I'm already
Michael, is
there.
past Michael going to do what we want him to do in that race?
Oh, it's not past Michael. It's going to be current Michael.
The TV's about to cut off.
All right,
We're
well,
about to get cut off the air.
well, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks to these guys for joining me. The links to their channels are down in the description, and we'll see you guys next time on the Hersheys Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best.
I had to get in there. I was like, oh, we're running out of time to limit at the last second. I was like, no! I had to squeeze a Phoenix in there.
Nice.
There's a Christmas Miracle and a Phoenix all in one right now.